Hey guys, this is Death by Big Numbers, and today we're going to be talking about the differential gear. And specifically, we're going to be building a differential drive, and that you can actually experiment with yourself to figure out some of the more uses of it. So, what is a differential gear? Well, it's this thing right here. It's a very odd part. The most prominent part of it is the conical gear going around the outside. But then it also has this odd peg here, with a stopping box underneath it. Alright, let's get building. So to start off, you're going to need a 5 long, half wide piece with cross holes at the bottom and top. In fact, you'll need 2 of those. Next, you're going to need 3 12-tooth conical gears. Then you need a differential gear. Now, LEGO actually makes 2 differential gears. They make their original differential gear that has 2 spur gears on it, one on the bottom and one on the top. It also doesn't have a stopping block, but you don't want that. You want this part, which is shorter and only has 1 gear and does have a stopping block. Next, you're going to need 2 7-long axles. Then, you're going to need 1 4-long axle. Then, 1 20-tooth gear. And finally, 1 5x7 frame. Let's get building. Alright, so to start this off, you're going to want to take your 20-tooth bevel gear and your 4-long axle. Slide the axle into the bevel gear. Make sure they're flush. Then, insert the axle into a hole in the frame so that it looks like this. Set that aside for now and take up your differential gear. Now, the modern differential gears have 2 slots, one on the side of the conical gear and one on the side of the base. But before we get into those, you're going to take one of your 12-tooth conical gears and put it on the peg right beneath the stopping block. Next, you're going to take another one of your 12-tooth gears and slide it through the slot so that it and the one on the peg mesh. Then, you can take another one and slide it into the other slot. Next, you're going to take back your frame with the bevel gear and the axle in it, and you're going to put the differential gear inside it, a bit like this. Then, take one of your 7-long axles and slide it through so that the cross hole on the axle meshes with the cross hole on the 12-tooth gear. If any of your gears fall out, be sure to put them back in before you continue. Then take your second 7-long axle and slide it through, meshing. Now, this is the basics of the differential drive. I'm just going to put on these 2 half-wide cross-hole pieces so that you can see how they turn. Alright, so if we turn this bevel gear, you'll notice that both outputs rotate. But if one of them encounters any resistance at all, the other one simply takes over, spinning at double the speed, which is a very interesting property, potentially one of the most useful ones. And that leads us to the other property. If we flip this around so that this is now our output, and these 2 are inputs, if you take the average speeds of these 2 axles, that is this speed, which is very interesting on its own, but perhaps not quite what we're looking for. Now, these pieces are actually used in cars, because when you have a car, you evidently need to spin the drive shaft to make the wheels turn. But when your car is going around a corner, the wheel on the outside of the corner needs to be going faster than the one on the inside. Otherwise, one of the tires will slip and you'll lose speed and traction. That's where differential gears come in handy. As long as they both have the same amount of resistance, they'll both spin. Of course, with these 5 long pieces on them, gravity becomes a factor. So I'll just take them off for now. Now, you'll note that both axles are actually spinning. But, say we're going around a corner, one of them can spin slightly slower than the other one, and it still works. That's why differentials are used in cars. But what about in other things? Differentials can be really handy in, say, First LEGO League, because of their properties, which, especially the one which may seem very simple, but that is, when you start spinning the axle, the other one can spin faster than the other. It doesn't matter. We'll talk about that and more on my next video on differential gears. This has been Death by Big Numbers. Thank you for watching.